Hey, everyone. Getting my holder thing set up. Basically a roll of blue tape. Hopefully it doesn't fall over. How you guys doing today for lunch? Got some more peanut butter and jelly sandwiches like I always do. Did a video, will be coming out soon about meditation, and actually it's just a method I use to enter meditation. So it's my meditation technique or something like that. Maybe it's not mine, but it's what I do, so whatever. I use it and I didn't read it somewhere, so I call it mine. How's it going, people? Looks like we got 800,000 viewers right now. Holy crap, dude. Everyone likes dirty honey. You like watching me eat lunch? I eat peanut butter and jelly every day. But that meditation video will be coming out in a couple weeks. It will be a weekly long video. Today, a new one's dropping. Right now, probably. Actually, just probably did it right now. It's 11 o'clock, I think. Every day, every Thursday at 11. New weekly video. I think today's video is called The Equation of Life, which is just, I think it's an interesting view on the potential that, because math is so, like, relevant, and it's like freaking something like magic or some shit. Like, it's super important, I think. It's like very important for humans to determine what the fuck's going on, and important. We use it in everything. It's like a huge staple of human understanding. Like, it's probably the biggest one. I think you could probably communicate, if we had to choose the alphabet or math, I'd probably choose math. I think that language could be done through numbers easier than numbers could be done through letters. Maybe that's not true, but it just feels like math is more important. Like, it just feels that way for some reason. Anyways, the video that drops today, the reason I'm talking about the math being so important, and it's like this ultra mega giant piece to our freaking understanding the puzzle, is that, oh hey, what's up, Josh? See you there. I don't know about that, but Josh called me a shaman. I think that's a compliment. But anyways, I'm talking about today's video that drops called The Equation of Life, and what it's about. It's about, I was thinking about how important math is and whatever. So anyways, my thought on it was that maybe math is like the thing, right? And it's way bigger than we even understand it to be. And so in the theory of that video, it's about, kind of about, what if we are, like, our identity is an equation, something like that. Like, basically we accept the other parts of the equation, it goes through our equation and then comes out as our personality. And so based on that thought, if you were God, you'd be able to see the outcome, because you could read the equation, and that equation turned into new people, but that was an outcome of the equation that he would be able to see. And so maybe math is God, or God's fucking language that's right here in our face, and we're just using it as second best instead of first best. Maybe we are just an equation. And if we could determine what those equations were in us and others, maybe we would be able to see the future or whatever, predict what people are going to do, or at least test it. You know, if you had an inkling, be like, okay, so if I'm right, and this person is this equation, watch what happens when I do this. Boom. And then he spits out something that you said was going to happen. It's like, dude, you see, he's a fucking this equation every time. That would be some trippy shit. Maybe that's what psychologists think they are on a different level. That whole thing's kind of stupid to me, though. I don't really like that portion. I don't like any kind of medicine, really, but or you know, doctory kind of medicine. I like the medicine that grows out of the ground. But Like the psychology people just seems like they want everyone to be something wrong with them. Like they wouldn't have a business if people weren't not right. What the fuck's right, dude? Everyone's their own version of fucked up. It's like they want to categorize everything and be like, oh, I put a name on it and cause a problem for that, and now I just determined what the solution is, and you have to do this because it's called that, and that's what that does. I'm like, dude, no, it doesn't, stupid. It is what everybody else says it is. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't like that. I don't like how they try and make the premise of people's sanity be wrong all the time. Like, there is no perfect right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. Some people are completely off the chart and shit. But, you know, I don't know. It just seems like that's pushed too heavily. And it's like, oh, you have this, come to us and we'll tell you how to fix it. No, dude, just fucking live, man. Nobody else needs, I mean, I don't know, dude. It seems stupid. That whole shit just seems it's all about money. Get you to worry about something and think you have a problem, and then they'll say, "Oh no, you have a problem. Look, and this is the answer. We'll treat it. We know how to fix it." And then I don't think they fix anything. I think all that happens is you go to people go to those places, talk to somebody, and they're just documenting you. They're not fixing you. Nothing gets fixed. You're just part of their experiment or something. So I don't know. Yes, it is a sham. Oh, yeah. Oh, what's up, Sharon? Yes, it is. Otherwise, it would be free. That's right. Yeah, well, Free's tough, though, Josh. I like that idea. Everything would be free. And I try to create a situation in my mind where that's possible on Earth, right? But nothing's free, dude. Free doesn't work. What it comes down to is trading and stuff and being able, because without something produced for free, something has to get done to turn something into something else. And that getting it done part, like turning a tree into a house, there's a lot of things that have to get done to turn that tree into a house. And so I'm not going to do that for free. I'm going to be hungry by the time I'm done with that. How am I going to get food? I got to farm and build your house and do it for free? Hugs are free. That's damn right, hugs are free. Love that. And you could probably survive on hugs for a long time, more than you think. People fast and don't eat. I fasted for a whole week. Me and my wife. The whole week. I think maybe it was even 10 days. I can't remember. That was a long time ago. But none, dude. No food. That shit's crazy. When you fast, you start to realize how much time during your day you use eating. Eating takes a lot. Look, I'm here eating a sandwich and I'll spend an hour in my day eating a lunch. That doesn't even include the time it took to prepare the lunch and put it in the bag and whatever. Sorry about that. Had a phone call come in, but they can wait. Hey, man. I'm live. You want to talk to me? Just kidding. So, anyways, the whole free thing is kind of difficult because it takes energy to do stuff, and to replace that energy you have to have something else to put in you, and you can't generate that thing you have to put in you, like the food and stuff. You can't generate that and produce the house at the same time and do all this shit for free. Now there might be a system, the more I talk it out, the more I think that there could possibly be like a system that would work for free if everybody agreed to do their part equally. So now, you know what? This might fucking work, dude. Because if we all did our part equally, see, now I'm thinking it out again. As you talk stuff out, different thoughts come into my mind. Because, okay, so if we all lined up and everyone was like, yeah, I'll massage your back and you massage mine and all the way. But the problem is, who's going to do the shit that nobody wants to do? Because some stuff requires people to get paid more because most things actually, because it requires more brain, or it requires you being willing to get down in that septic tank and clean that shit out. I'm not doing that. Fuck you, dude. I'm not standing in that part of the line. Fuck that shit. So, some people are like, I'm not doing that. I won't even drink cow milk because it grosses me out. Like, good luck getting me down in a sewer to scrape somebody else's poop and tampons out. God damn, bro. Those guys don't get paid enough, whatever it is. We had a situation at our house where we needed those guys to come and empty that shit out, so I got first-hand look at what's going on in there. Oh my god, dude. Organic or not, this stuff's gross, dude. Don't want to be that guy. So, yeah, see, you know then, Josh. There's just nobody's friend. That's why it comes out of us. Oh! New video coming soon. Thought I had this super fucking exciting to me, right? Whatever. I thought it was really cool. When I thought about it, this idea that I'm going to tell you about right now was really like, whoa, that might be something. And it might be something in a trippy-ass hippie world of mystical bullshit. Alright, that's what I talk about. I'm fucking dirty honey, dude. But anyways, I was... You know, my brain just thought of something the other day about how maybe we are... And so I had a two-part thought, one that led to another one. The first part thought was that maybe our universe, or our galaxy even, within the universe, has been rejected from the mother universe because we did something wrong, or we were placed here because we're not done yet, or we haven't reached or attained the enlightenment necessary to move on to the next level of godness, or we got filtered out of the true big God and put into this little place called Earth to go out into the universe and figure that shit out before we circle back into the real God thing, right? And then that led my brain into thinking that maybe we're still in development and we're in the womb of Mother Universe, and we're going to be, when we die here, we get born back into God. And maybe that's why we feel all this eternal shit and all these things that are like, damn, I feel like there's more that we're just not touching base with, because we know what's coming and we're developing into that. And maybe not all of us make it, and maybe that, you know, the reason the gods that are here, like Jesus and or the Bible and all the different versions, right? None of them actually take all of us. None of those gods in their own stories even, they all admit kind of to that some of the people on Earth are not going to make it. And so maybe that's why. Maybe it's because we're not all making it because we're not all ready to be born yet. We're still like little... I got another phone call. People blowing me out, dude. Dirty Honey's popular. Don't they know I'm live at 11 o'clock? Sheesh. But what I was saying is that you can... So maybe we're not all taken back. You know, maybe the reason that all these... The gods that we know about here on Earth are not, even under their own religious belief, are not going to get everybody back. And maybe that's because we're here on Earth, like we're in the womb, developing our ability to be whatever we are after life as part of God, or whatever He wants us, you know, whatever puzzle piece we are that fits back into God that He wanted us for. We're being developed here like we're being developed in the womb. Not all of us are ready. So maybe Dirty Honey's not going to make it. But my next door neighbor, possibly, he's like past me in development in the God womb. And he's going to make it. When he dies, he's going to go straight back into the God network and the God stream or whatever. And I won't make it potentially because I'm not fucking enlightened or whatever. I'm not developed enough in the God womb to be able to be born into God after I die. And so then potentially, maybe this is kind of like reincarnation, because then after the people who didn't make it don't necessarily perish, they're just not done yet. So they have to keep cycling through Earth or through life in different forms potentially. I mean, most likely because they're not going to be the same person over and over unless it's a skipping record, a big circle. This is just all a loop, and you got to keep trying it until you figure your part out. And maybe we got to try all the parts until we figure everything out, and then you escape. I don't know, dude. That's fucking trippy shit. I thought, when I first thought of it, I was like, whoa, that's trippy shit. And when I'm talking it out, still say that. Totally trippy shit. When you don't know the answer, it's fun to think about what the answer could be. And to me, that's like something that kind of feels like it might fit with how we feel about not living as long as we want to. You know, it's not like everyone's like, yeah, I can't wait to die when I'm 80. It's like, damn, I'm gonna die when I'm 80. You start getting closer to it, and everyone thinks they're gonna die when they're 80. Watch my video about living to 200 years. It's better. But the thing is that it feels like, damn, I wanted to live a lot longer than that. Why am I gonna die when I'm 80 at 40? You know, and so maybe it's that feeling is because we can kind of subconsciously, or our energy or our being, whatever, kind of knows where we're going. It knows that it's gonna last longer. It knows that we're in the womb and we're just this little tiny, not even a baby yet, haven't even been born into the God, or into whatever the goodness is, the God stream. I'm calling it the God stream or the God network or some shit. In that scenario, all right. I never put my foot all the way down. Okay, I'm not putting stakes in anything. So when I talk about stuff and say, oh, I think this or I believe that, I don't really fucking believe it. I'm not making a church about it or some shit. But when you talk about theoretical stuff, you have to ride it like it's a real horse in order to experience what it might be, and take it in as far as you can on the horse as the theory to feel it out. And so I reference it and use words that are in the English language that I'm required to use so you'll understand what I'm talking about, such as believe it. But, I mean, I can't believe all these fucking things at the same time. I don't believe any of them. I just think about them and talk about them because they sound fun and interesting, like watching Tom and Jerry and shit. It's fun. I don't really think Tom and Jerry cut fucking the mouse in half and shit. It's just fun to watch. Right? We do everything for that reason. Even the most important religious beliefs are based on how they make us feel. We're all about how we feel. That's why meditation, to me, I did a video today, actually, you'll see it in a couple weeks, about meditation using the happy feeling approach or technique or whatever that I use, that I think that, I don't know if it's an actual technique, but I do it and it works really cool, man. It's an awesome way to get into meditation. And so anyways, the point is that life, you know, you hear people say life is an experience, life is a ride, whatever it is, dude. The closer you pay attention to it, it's kind of like you do everything you do to maintain your happiness and to gain a feeling. It's like, I want to feel that, I want to experience that, and you experience it, and then it goes away and you look for another one, and that's life. You just continuously try and find something that feels good in different levels of your ability to understand them, like mentally, physically, audio, visually, you know, whatever else. Yeah, love. Okay, love is a really good one, Josh. Oh, what about babies? What about babies? I missed your comment. What about babies? I'm too stupid, man. My brain's only works like in a little space that big, and I can't remember that was back here. I spanned past that baby question thing. I didn't see you ask it. Babies are awesome. Everyone loves babies. To me, babies are like this producer of happiness. How do they get to heavy? To heaven, you mean? So, I don't know. Heaven is kind of a place that only exists in certain versions of Christianity, and it doesn't really exist anywhere else. So, if there's a heaven, like with pearly gates and shit, I'm not likely believing that situation. Gates? Like, what? Dude, I don't know. Not seeing God need gates. Does he have a key? Oh, fuck, I lost my keys. Goddamn devil, what the fuck? Give me my keys back, you asshole. Go get him. I'm gonna send a witch and a warlock to come steal your keys, God. You're never getting back into the pearly gates because you came down here to visit Earth. Sucker. Whatever. So heaven, I don't know. Heaven is, I think, certain Christianity's version of a perfect afterlife. And so the thing with them is that it's attached to, and the key, I guess, to get in is not saying fuck you, because now I'm gonna go to hell. I just broke my key by saying fuck you. Fuck, dude. I'm done, I guess. And so you can't say that. The key is finding the right, under that belief, the Bible, the right book, and then finding the right denomination or interpretation of that book, and then committing to it early enough in life to be able to understand it correctly through the teachings of men who are described and defined as liars and evil, to find the, to make the key that'll get you into heaven, which to me doesn't add up. I don't really think that is true. Heaven in that sense kind of sounds like it's a place like Yosemite. I've been to heaven, I guess, because I've been to Yosemite. That place is fucking, might as well be heaven. Shit's awesome. So, I haven't been there forever. Last time, actually, I went, it was infested with mosquitoes a few decades ago. That was fun, huh, Ben? You remember that shit? Yep. So, heaven, yeah, what about heaven? Babies going to heaven? I think if there's a heaven and God created us and wants us to go back to heaven, fuck him if he's not taking babies back. That's what I think. So, yes, babies go to heaven, because if they don't, God's a dick. Who the fuck makes a baby and then just sends them straight to hell, dude? That's fucked up. Yup, I knew you were gonna die when you were 2, and fucking you're going straight to hell, so I just basically threw you out like a cigarette butt, stepped on you, and rubbed it out. Like, fuck that. God's not a dick like that. If there's a God, and it's the God that they talk about him being, what did you say? Somebody said something. Me too, yeah. Do they go to hell? No, they don't go to hell, man. Babies don't go to hell. There's no hell either, I don't think. Actually, I'm not gonna say what there is. I'm gonna say I don't think. It's hard for me to believe that there's a place called hell. Yes, babies get a free pass. Actually, it's not even free, dude, because they had to pay for it with whatever kind of experience they had going through birth and to the point where they died. That didn't sound fun, so I don't think they had a good experience, so they paid for it. Just like how Jesus came down and got his ass kicked, he paid for that shit, and it's for you, so now you're not having to do something. I don't know how that works, what you got out of that. But I think he died and got his ass kicked and everything so that your sins are forgiven. That kind of sounds like you can just be like, fuck everybody, I'm a fucking asshole and you're fuck you, because God forgives me already, so fuck it, right? Fuck. Like, it doesn't make sense, dude. To me it doesn't. It's probably because I'm stupid, but I don't know, smart people get it. Oh, you know what I was thinking too? Another thought. Probably end up doing a video about this, but I was thinking about how religion is here. To me personally, it feels like religion is the problem. There's so many of them, none of them agree. They all claim they're the one, but their one God isn't even here to get everybody. It just doesn't add up. It feels like religion's bullshit. I'm probably wrong, okay, but this is what I'm thinking on this little horse I'm riding for this potential theory, alright? But I'm thinking that religion's probably bullshit. And so what if the heads of those religions are actually gods? Because we never see these fucking people. Who the fuck runs the Jehovah Witness organization that's like some billion-dollar organization? The Catholic Church. Like, they show some guy who drives around in a little fucking spaceship and shit and lives in a fucking whatever. Who even knows if that's a real human, dude? Probably a fucking robot or an alien or something. But what if those guys are gods? And they're purposely creating a distraction of religion because they don't want anyone else to attain that godliness that may be possible to attain if you do whatever the fuck they did. Like the flower of youth. I did a video called The Fountain of Youth or The Flower of Youth, or I don't even remember. But it's about the flower of youth. I call it the flower of youth because you can move it around instead of the fountain where it's like stuck in the ground somewhere. You can't take it with you. So the flower makes more sense to me, or it was easier to make a story about. But the story says that if you found the flower of youth, you probably wouldn't tell everyone, because if everyone lives forever, what's the point? And the place is going to fucking overflow with people because nobody ever dies. And if you don't tell anyone, you're the king of the world because you live forever, nobody knows it, you're all my bitches and shit or whatever. You guys are all my little grapes that I walk on. Rose petals or what? And so I was thinking about that, and what if religious leaders are actual, like, gods that discovered some sort of God access or whatever, and then had their, understanding that they have to be able to create with their religion, but they did the religious creation as a purpose distraction so that people will chase their tails trying to find this other God instead of trying to be something more than they are, because the Bible and books are like, no, 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 you're a piece of shit. God's awesome. You're supposed to try and be his footprint, step under his boot so he can walk on you and not get his feet dirty. Not a awesome, like, special angel or something. You can't be an angel. But maybe you can. Maybe these religious leaders know it and they're like, nope, you can't do that. Look, it's up there in the sky somewhere. Look up there. Don't look in your side. Don't look inside you. You're evil. Kind of feels like that. Like they're trying to distract everyone from trusting themselves and looking inside. And it's like, no, 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 it's over there. Look it. Look, 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 look. Don't listen to yourself. No, 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 no. Bam! Wham! Hey, hey. Listen, listen. Don't think. Don't. Nope, you're focusing. Like, dude, fucking shut up, dude. It's like they're trying to distract and discourage people from trusting in themselves and trying to find what that same God put in them. It's like, no, 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 listen to us. We're the lying, evil men that we told you about, okay? We're here to lead you to the truth. So fucking stupid, dude. Anyways, but it seems like the potential is there for some sort of fucking conspiracy theory, right? Behind the religious castles and whatever these fucking spaceships these guys drive around in and shit that we never see, dude. We absolutely have no fucking clue who these people even are. Who's the leader of any one religion? I'd like to see that group or that person or whatever and meet them in person and punch them right in the face and see if they bleed, dude. Be like, oh, hey, what's up? Oh, fucking goddamn! And the rainbow starts flying out of his nose. Like, oh, he's a god. I knew it. I wouldn't really do that, Pope. Don't be scared, bro. Hook me up. Come and meet Dirty Honey. Don't be scared of me. I'm not really gonna punch the Pope, okay? But I would be super stoked on riding around in his little airplane or whatever, in this little spaceship. And I would like to see it if somebody else did punch him in the face. What would happen? I really wonder what would happen if he would be like, oh, here's my other cheek. Jesus told me to do that. I highly doubt it. Don't think he would do that. Whoever punched him would probably get shot by a bunch of people. All these guards and shit would be like, ah, watch out for his other cheek. Get that guy who punched him. Some shit. Or his head would fly off and shit. His head's not even on. It just falls off and then these fucking light shoots out of his head. He's just an orb of light, dude. Covered in some fucking AI skin. He walks around and shit. I don't know. Anyways, that was like a weird thought that went through my head, that the possibility of religious leaders misleading the planet almost like together. It's kind of like this thing where they're all like, yeah, okay, we know each other. All right. Let's fool the masses all together, okay? And just keep your group over there running in a circle and this group over here running in a circle. If everybody believes the same thing, it's not going to work. We have to have them confused and fighting amongst each other down there in the muck, so they don't see us floating around above their heads forever. They don't even know who we are. We're fucking invisible god people and shit. Like, what if that's true, man? Or they're like aliens or some shit. And in order to distract us from and scare us away from, finding the mothership or something, they're like, oh no, here, God's this, dude. And aliens are fake. Don't even think about that shit or you're gonna burn in hell for eternity. Ooh, fuck that. Aliens. They're not real, son. Jesus is real and he died on the cross for your sins, and now you're free to never sin again or else you're going to burn in hell. Because I don't get that, huh? That's kind of weird, man. It's like, don't fucking sin. But if you do, Jesus died for those sins and you're cool. Don't trip. But don't do it or you're going to burn in hell. Which one is it? I'm confused by that. I'm probably missing the easy message, but it seems a little bit confusing that if I sin, I'm going to go to hell, but Jesus died for my sins so that I'm forgiven. So, what do I do? Which one am I allowed to do shit that I'm not supposed to do and it's all good because Jesus got his ass kicked on earth? You know what another thought I had too that's a little bit crazy? Should I talk about that? I don't know. Never mind. I don't want to talk about that. People are too attached to their religion, dude. If I bend it in half too far, people get all buttered and shit. But I had a really pretty weird thought about the Bible again and how the Bible. Okay, so, and again, let me preface it this. I don't believe this. I don't believe anything. I'm just saying it because the thought ran through my head because Satan came down and offered it to me in an apple. Okay, and this beautiful Eve lady, who's my wife, came and offered it to me to eat, and I bit it. And then all of a sudden, my brain was filled with this story I'm going to tell you. All right? Straight from Satan's apple. But I was thinking about how the Bible doesn't make sense to me. The Bible religions just fucking don't add up to me. Like, it just doesn't feel real. And I'm like, why, dude? Why is there so many people that are like, dude, this is real? And so I was just kind of thinking about that. And it's all based around the Bible. And these are the things that I think I came up with that are kind of like don't fit in my brain, is that it's all based on this book that was written by different men, or these books that were written by different men, and then a bunch of those books were taken and gathered up, and some of the stories were put in a book called the Bible. They were gathered together, and then the other stories are like, no, those don't fit. We don't want those to be in the book of the Bible. We think this is the message, and we want this to be the message. And then they put it out as the Bible, the Holy Bible. And so, for one, the thing I have a problem with is all those other books and stories that they didn't include. I'd like to know what they said and why they weren't included. And also, and also, why not all the stories? Like, dude, who are these decision makers? Like, what the fuck? We're not capable of making a decision with all the evidence? That seems not fair to everybody past that. It seems like once it got to that point, something changed, and now we're getting a way shaved down, filtered out version of the story that was recorded. And so I got a problem with that. And also another problem is, how did people determine that that book is the one that they're going to lower all their faith in when they haven't even seen or touched or heard a single word out of any of the other ones in most cases? And so I have a problem with that. And then the part that includes faith, that seems kind of weird. And the faith is laid on top of the belief in the main character, Jesus. And I say the main character because that's what we are told is the main character of the book. And so that whole little blah, 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 was going around my head. I'm like, okay, so wait a minute. What happens if we take the main character out of the book? What if during all that, here's all the information, 6 or 8 guys that are going to, figure out what the real book is about. Here's everything. Here's all 100 books. Pick 10 or whatever, 50 or however many books are in the Bible. Pick as many, whatever you think. Right? And so then they did that, and they gathered what they thought was good, and they put out the book of the Bible. So if they only included stories in the Bible that were cohesive to this Jesus character, and the problem that I have is that all the faith you have to have and all the blindness you have to have is in relationship to the Jesus character and his identity with relationship to God. And so I'm like, dude, that's the part that feels wrong to me, is that this one guy is attached to a God who created everyone, but admittingly is fucked up and is here to fix it by sacrificing his son so that he can get some of them back. And so it just kind of just felt fucking, and then faith is what says that that's real. And so to me, all that kind of shit just kind of points to Jesus. And so I'm like, what happens if we took Jesus out? What happens if the message of the Bible was actually not about Jesus, and maybe Jesus was just like an apostle or just added to the fucking thing, to the Bible and the stories that allowed him to be added to the stories, because you can't tell if we just throw this guy in instead of. And my idea or my thought was, what if the Bible and all those stories that were included and or not included were actually not directed towards a Jesus character that was the Son of God, but to you and me and everyone who are the sons of God. So what if we are that Jesus character? Okay, and this is why I was afraid to talk about this shit. I'm not trying to say I'm Jesus or God or fucking you are what. That's not what I'm saying, dude. I'm making a theory. Okay, what if? If he was taken out, and what if it was being directed towards mankind instead of Jesus as that character? And the ass kicking that Jesus got was a hypothetical, or a, the Bible uses all these little stories that are like, oh, you got to use your mind to kind of see what this means, right? And so maybe that's what the whole story of Jesus was, and we are that character that's Jesus, or mankind is that Jesus, and the torment and all that shit that he went through is an example or a metaphor or whatever of what we go through in our lives to be that Jesus character, and how difficult it is, and how possible it is, and how beneficial it could possibly be for you if you're be nice all the time and you're a good person and you let the true goodness that's in you be the source of your guidance. And if that was the case, it kind of feels like more acceptable to my soul or whatever, because then I'm understanding that I am that son of God or child of God or whatever, lamb of God or whatever piece of God that I am, that Jesus was supposed to be in the book. And it adds importance and relevance to me with relationship to God, rather than an evil fucking piece of shit that's here to toil in eternal fire if I don't figure this shit out. Like, dude, and he made me in perfection and perfectly only wants 5% of us back. Like, what the fuck? That doesn't add up. And so, but if the Jesus thing was more geared towards mankind and what they can achieve out of life, instead of worshiping one man character guy, son of God, and trying to fit that in your brain, it doesn't fit, because doesn't fit. It's not necessarily what the story's telling you. It's kind of like, potentially, the books, and then there's also the books that we can't even read. We don't know where they are, what happened to these. Maybe they're out there, I don't know. But I've never referenced any of these other books of the Bible that haven't been entered. I heard about a book of Enoch, which was super fucking interesting, that was excluded from the Bible, and has things referencing spaceships and observers in crafts that are outside of Earth or some shit. And one Enoch, I think, himself gets taken by the observers or whatever and flown through outer space, and gives a detailed description of what Earth looks like from space. Although his description, according to what I understood from the thing I heard about, is that Earth looked flat and had a bubble over it, a dome on top. And so that was kind of, why did he make cancer? Yeah, dude. I don't know about that. things like that are God disqualifiers to me. And religious people will tell you that the devil made it, probably. I don't know what people think about that. That's just one of the evils that tries to draw you into sin, probably. Or whatever. It reminds you that you're evil. Or it's one of the curses we received for Eve handing Adam the apple and him biting it. You know, because we trusted the gift that God gave us as a helper to give us something good, and she actually tricked us into eating an apple that was bad, given to her by a serpent. Who the fuck eats apples given to them by a serpent? Not me. I don't think. Maybe. You might be like, holy shit, it's a fucking magic serpent. This thing's talking, dude, and it's giving me food. Give me some of that. I'm filled with knowledge, and I'm going to hell. Or whatever. But that's a whole thing, too, that I think is actually really, really interesting about that part of the Bible. And I've talked about it a few times. I hope I'm not redundant, but whatever. Is the whole, gift of woman to man by taking the rib. God put us here on earth, or Adam on earth in the Garden of Eden, said, hey, take care of this. This is yours. Everything here is yours. And then he's like, yeah, you know what? This looks like a lot of work. Maybe I'm going to give you a helper. And he's like, here, give me one of your ribs. Pulled a rib out of Adam, wrapped it in some stuff, and boom! And blew life into Eve that was a piece of Adam and said, here, Adam, I'm going to give you this helper as a gift to help you maintain the Garden of Eden. And Adam was like, oh, hell yeah, boom, pour some of this out for God hooking me up. And then like an hour later, Eve shows up, hey, Adam, dude, have some of this apple. And he's like, oh, all right, thanks. Thank God for hooking me up with this awesome woman. And then he's like, oh shit, dude, my dick's hanging out. What the fuck? Oh, dude, we're naked. And he started running. And anyways, the interesting part about that is that woman was given to Adam or man as a helper and ended up deceiving deceiving the entire creation that God made, which is like kind of fucked up. He kicked himself right in the nuts. God did by doing that. And I mean, what the hell? I don't get that part. And then the other part that's interesting is the name of the one tree or fruit that they were not able to eat from, which was the tree of the knowledge of good and bad. So I thought that is so interesting that the descriptive name of the tree of the knowledge of good and bad was the one tree or fruit that Adam and Eve were not allowed to eat. And it just so happens that religion gives us the definition of what is the knowledge of good and bad. So to me, the Bible right there at the very first book tells us religion is evil. Dude, all it does is separate everybody and create little mounds of bullshit. And everybody hates each other because nobody's agreeing with what they said. Religion's the poison of spirituality, in my opinion. But that's just me. I'm Dirty Honey, and I'm totally stupid. I'm probably going to burn in hell because of that. Fuck it. I don't give a shit because I don't believe in hell. I don't think that shit's real. So it's not, because whatever I say is, according to some people, it is what you say it is. And you create your own reality, which I think is partially true, because if I was always upset about stuff, I'm the one who's always upset about it. And if I was always happy about stuff, then I'm the one who's always happy about it. So that's it. I don't know. I just got a little distracted right now. I don't know what I was saying. But anyways, dude, I just totally derailed, man. Don't know what I was talking about. Maybe I'm hungry still. I need to finish eating this peanut butter and jelly. It's almost time for me to go. I got 44 minutes. I actually got about 10 or 15 more. I got a few more to talk. A few more minutes to talk about this exciting stuff. Oh, and I'm working on something that's going to be called yesterday we were talking about undeniable truths, and something interesting that happened to me actually yesterday when I was after that video and I was thinking about undeniable truths and trying to come up with more of them. As I was ending the video, I thought about music and how powerful music is, and everybody on the planet has experienced music. Music is definitely an undeniable truth. It exists everywhere you go, and it's almost like math, where it's something that you're accessing that's already there. Kind of. It's like, I did a video called Whole Music, where it's kind of like that, where like music is this whole thing, and people write a piece of music and they take that piece of music out of the whole music, and then they say, hey, look at this piece of music, like a key or something, or like a grain of sand in this big rock, which would be the whole music. And so the whole music would be so that's what we're talking about, the truths. So undeniable truths, music being one of those undeniable truths. This stuff is freaking super powerful. It's there with or without us, like the whole music thing, like I was saying. Potentially it's like, it's there and we just take parts of it, like math. Math is there and we just kind of understand it or figure it out, like a path or something. Like the dirt's there, I'm just going to walk on it. I've never been on that path, I'm going to go walk on it, but it's there. It's like, you don't have to create it, you know? So I think music is kind of like that. You create it, but it has to follow certain music rules, similar to how math has to follow the rules of mathematics. But I feel like music is definitely one of these things that's just ultra real. But then I started to think about other things that are undeniable truths, and the more I broke stuff down, I kind of felt like I was defining science. It's almost like I feel like I'm this caveman, and I'm like, okay, this is my theory on what I'm going to try to do and figure this out with this undeniable truth and this undeniable truth, and then we'll try to put that over here. And it's like, dude, that's science. It's just the science. Scientist does that kind of shit, right? Scientists do that shit. And so to me, that kind of added validity to science for me, because this is another thing that is like kind of how I try to do my thought process, dude. This is like, I think about stuff in my freeness, in my brain or whatever, and try and come up with it under my own understanding, and try to not listen to what the world's telling me and forget all the shit that's already dumped into my ocean, let it settle to the bottom so I can have clear water to think in. And then when I come up with something that I feel like is true because I came up with it through swimming around in my clear water, and then I hold it or stand there and look at it and be like, oh, this is familiar, I remember this sounds like that, this sounds like something I already know about, it's called science. And so then it kind of feels real, because I feel like I discovered it, or it has more validity. It is more validity than if I just heard about it and be like, oh yeah, that's what it is. But I'm like finding it from the inside out or something. And so I had that experience with diet too, noticing how from the inside out, that was one of the important factors of peace for me, is having a good diet and trusting and knowing that my diet is an undeniable truth. It's something that I know is what it is because it's one ingredient. It's an apple, okay? Or it's a grapefruit, or it's a banana, okay? Or it's the apple that I already ate. You know, these are ingredients that are like one at a time. So I trust them. I know they are what they are. And so I had this recollection of that being super important. And in addition to other experiences that I've been having, meditation and whatever kind of stupid, crazy bullshit that I'm making up right now, is, it all added up into recognizing that fits into what I recognized as three important things that we've all heard about: body, mind, spirit, or soul. Body, mind, spirit, I think. And so that to me made real sense that it's the body portion. My diet is part of my peace and happiness. It's the body of my body, mind, spirit. And so because I discovered that by just not being, told the body, mind, spirit is your diet, eat right. Okay. I kind of, I don't know how I just had this light go on inside of me that that's super important. It's something I trust, something I know, something I believe in, something that is an undeniable truth to me. And so that, because it was that to me, it turned on this light that it's something that I can stand on and see where it is, and it felt like by standing on it and seeing where it is, where it was next to my mind and my spirit as part of that whole, which is peace to me. Your peace comes from your body, mind, and spirit being clean or clear or in tune or focused or whatever. And so I think that for me personally is my key to what keeps me feeling like I'm happy. And I don't, like, to me, I'm not making this shit up. It is what it is. And I just talk about it and how I think it's happening or what it feels like or whatever. I don't know. But I think that it's very true to me, at least, that body, mind, and spirit, body being what you put in yourself, your diet, your exercise, and how you treat your physical body, and your mind being what you imagine, your imagination, what you think. It's connected to your body part called a brain, but that body part contains your mind, or is a big portion of how effective and clearly your mind can work. Your mind can't work if its brain, its body part, isn't healthy. And so if you have a healthy body, it allows your brain, which is part of your body, to use its function called a mind more efficiently and effectively and clearly and trustworthily. Okay? And then I think the more difficult one to get in touch with is your spirit, because that's something that is of your mind, kind of similarly to how your body allows your brain to use your mind more effectively and easily or efficiently. That allows the next step of mind to access spirit, and that's where the triangulation happens, is that one requires the other, and then it's back to the first to create like a circle, but it's more like a triangle, I guess. And that trifecta is peace. Because if you have a clean body, which enables a clean brain to drive and ride on a clean mind, and discover that you already have a clean spirit, now you understand why, and you have peace with that. From that peace comes happiness, because you have peace. Happiness is the feeling you get from standing or living in peace. If you're somewhere and somebody's throwing rocks at you or hitting you with a sand blaster, you can't, it's very difficult to have peace. That's because your body and your mind, your body is being assaulted. Your mind can't think straight because your brain is on fire with assault. And so then it's hard to access your spirit because your mind's all fucked up. So you have to have those three things, and I kind of feel like I derailed right there, like I missed my point. That happens, dude. Alright. But the point to me is, or what I feel like I use or experience or enjoy is having clean body, and trust in my diet and trust in my intake because I know what it is, keeping my brain healthy through that, and I use other things to enhance that mind's ability to release from the physical reality or physical world and enter those meditative states for mental only exercise. And then mind is healthy and powerful enough to access and understand and experience the connection with your spirit that gives peace. Okay, that this is where my point was. I feel myself repeating. And then that peace, when you're standing in peace, you experience happiness because you're at peace. And what I was saying is if you're not at peace and one of those three things is disturbed, it's harder to experience happiness. Without the peace, happiness is almost false. It's almost like wearing a cotton blanket in the rain. It's kind of for looks or something. You're not doing anything with that. You're not really enjoying that blanket. So, I don't know if that's a good analogy or whatever, but peace to me is the main ingredient to happiness. It's extremely difficult to have happiness without true happiness, endless happiness, easy happiness. It's just what you live in because you're in peace. So that's it. And it's not like, oh, here's some peace. Here you go. Oh, $5.99. Have some peace. It's not that simple. I know, you know what I'm saying, but it is what it is. I feel like I've discovered it. I mean, right? I don't know. I don't want to say discovered. I feel like I've always been here, to be honest with you. But I'm learning to understand myself a little bit better, or at least feel like I'm understanding myself a little better. And whatever I'm doing, I really don't give a fuck because it feels good. I feel at peace, and I have peace and happiness wherever I go. It's in me. And so that's it, dude. It's not, an unhappy person, doesn't matter where you put them, they're going to be unhappy. One of the signs of somebody being unhappy with themselves, I think, is that running and trying to make location part of what the definition of your happiness is. Location is not a required ingredient for happiness. If it is to you, then you're not going to be happy unless you're in that location. And that sucks because you're not always going to be in one location or another, or in relationship to somebody else or something else or whatever. Happiness can't be attached to an outside physical world requirement. Happiness and peace comes from inside your mind, and it's your own responsibility. Nobody else can make it or break it. All they can do is make it easier or more difficult. Okay, but that's just life. And that's never going to go away. And if you're waiting for the world to change to make you happy and peaceful, good luck. It's never going to happen. That's something I can say. Another undeniable truth probably is that if you expect the world to make you happy, you'll never be happy. It's just like trying to make the world happy. You can't. You're never going to satisfy the entire world. It just doesn't work. So, not that you can't try to be good, and people will be happy with that, and good energy kind of multiplies. So you can do that, but you can't let your own happiness rely on the outcome of the world's happiness. It's never going to work that way. So that's about it. I'm coming up on 1 hour. I had a good talk with you guys today. It was fun. Enjoyed my lunch. And it's time to get going. I hope everybody had a good one with me. You guys be nice. Don't forget to be nice. Listen to 91.5 FM on the radio, KUSC.org on the internet, and you can be at peace or happy anytime you want, because that stuff is full of peace and happiness. Thanks for the chat. No, no problem, Josh. Anytime, dude. I like it when you talk over me. I'm reading those comments, but sometimes my brain can't go on two lanes at once, and I have to finish my thought, and then I forget. So I'm not the best live streamer yet, dude. I'm working on it, bro. But I really love your comments, dude. I super hyper appreciate them. Okay? You know I love you, Josh. You're the man, brother. So, anyways, you guys be nice. 91.5 FM on the radio, KUSC.org on the internet. Watch all the fucking videos. Make some comments on there. Like the videos. Subscribe to the channel. Tell your friends. Join me tomorrow at 11 a.m.-ish. If I don't I try to do it every day at 11 a.m.-ish. If I don't, sometimes I'm busy, can't come, and I just gotta eat lunch while I'm driving down the freeway and can't YouTube at the same time. Shit's dangerous. So I think I said everything. We'll see you guys tomorrow, probably around this same time. You guys have a good one. Be nice, be at peace, and everything else. All right? Bye.